Hello students, welcome to today's video lesson. Today, we shall discuss a story that deals with the conflict between a man's duty towards his country and his own conscience and duties as a human being who is also a doctor. This story is set at the time of the Second World War. Before we begin with the story, let us discuss a little about the writer Pearl S. Buck. Pearl Seidenstricker Buck was born on June 26, 1892. Also known by her Chinese name Cai Zhenzu, she was an American writer and novelist. Her novel, The Good Earth, won the Pulitzer Prize in 1932. In 1938, she was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. Some of her important works are The First Wife and Other Stories, Portrait of a Marriage, This Proud Heart, and God's Men. Let us now begin with the story. Sadao Hoki lived on the Japanese coast where he had grown up. He lived there with his father in the low square stone house set upon rocks on a narrow beach lined by pine trees. His father was a traditional, conservative man who never joked or played with him. Moreover, his main concern was Sadao's education. Like all fathers, he too struggled and wanted his son to prosper in life and make his own future. At 22, Sadao was sent to America for receiving his education in surgery and medicine. His father got to see his son become a successful surgeon and a scientist before he died. At the time when the story began, Dr. Sadao lived in his childhood house along the Japanese coast with his wife, Hana, and 2 children. Sadao had met Hana in America and fallen in love only after he became sure that she was pure Japanese. His father would not have accepted anybody other than a pure Japanese girl as his daughter-in-law. So, they returned to Japan and married in the traditional way, following all customs and traditional rituals. We see how Sadao must have both loved and feared his father for him to fall in love with someone only after knowing that his father would approve of her. Notice how conservative and xenophobic his father was, that Sadao was sure of his father's disapproval of a non-Japanese girl. Hana and Sadao were happily married with 2 children. It was a time of extreme political unrest due to the ongoing Second World War and the growing tension between the countries of Japan and America. Dr. Sadao was not deployed along with the Japanese troops as he was in the middle of a scientific discovery that would render wounds entirely clean. Moreover, an old army general was suffering a condition that might have required emergency surgery. One evening, while Dr. Sadao and Hana stood outside their veranda, facing the ocean and the mists which hid the outlines of the ocean, they saw something black emerge out of the mist. It was a man who struggled to walk and soon had dropped on his hands and knees to crawl. Finally, he fell on his face and lay motionless. Here, we have our first indication that the man might have been a prisoner as he walked with his hands up in the air as if in surrender. At first, Dr. Sadao and Hana thought it was a fisherman, as there were fishing villages a mile or 2 away on either sides of their house. They hurried towards the man, half knowing that he must have been gravely injured as the surf beyond the beach was spiked with dangerous rocks. When Sadao and his wife turned the unconscious man over after reaching him, they soon stood stunned as they saw he was a white man or an American man with yellow hair. His wet yellow hair was long, as it had not been cut for a long period. His rough face looked young and tortured. Moreover, the sand on which he lay was covered with bloodstains. Led by his reflexes, Sadao soon found out the bleeding wound. It was a gunshot wound, which the man had tried to self-treat with some black powdery substance. However, it had been reopened by the rocks, which had struck him while he had struggled along the coast. Sadao packed the wound with the sea moss that lay scattered on the beach. After that, he and Hana carefully considered what to do with him. They both knew that sheltering an American in their house would cost them heavily, as they would be arrested for treason and aiding the enemy. Sadao and Hana soon figured out that the man was a prisoner of war who used to serve in the US Navy. They also figured that he had escaped imprisonment and thus was wounded in the back. They considered their best option was to put him back in the sea. However, they were unable to do so and carried him back to their home, half scared that the servants might rise in objection. The couple was highly worried of the consequences of getting caught while housing an enemy who was an escaped prisoner. However, they carried the half-starved man who was feather-light in weight and placed him in Sadao's father's old room. The writer compares the weight of the man to a hen that had not been fed for days. Everything in Sadao's father's room was traditional and Japanese, as he disliked foreign things like beds or sitting chairs. Hana took out a soft quilt which was covered with flowered silk and pure white silk lining to cover the injured man. It is ironic how the room of a traditional Japanese man who had been prejudiced against the Americans all his life and had not allowed the influence of Western living in his own household was being used to house an American. Next, the couple considered cleaning the man as he was covered in days of accumulated dirt. Sadao had decided to bathe the man himself, but Hana insisted that Yumi, their servant, do it. Sadao checked the man's pulse and his heartbeat after he noticed the absolutely bloodless whiteness on his unconscious face. His medical training told him that the man would not survive unless he was operated on. However, Hana was scared as saving his life would mean greater treason against the country. They considered the option of letting him die as opposed to saving his life. At any rate, something had to be done, and thus they considered washing him clean to begin with. Sadao thought that the man must have been of excellent spirit and energy, as he was alive even after the days of torture he had gone through. He also estimated the man's age to be less than 25. Soon, Sadao left the room, leaving the injured man covered in soft silk quilt on the floor. Hana hurriedly followed him as she did not wish to be left alone with the strange white man whom she considered an enemy and a threat even in his unconscious state. After soothing her baby boy to sleep, Hana informed the two servants and the gardener of the incidents. They were very frightened too, as they too were prejudiced and knew the consequences of being caught aiding an escaped prisoner. What happened next? Did they cooperate with their masters? Was Sadao able to revive the man? We shall soon find out in the second part of our video lesson. See you soon.